Comparing perfect competition and monopoly. What is perfect competition? Perfect competition is the ideal type of market structure where producers and consumers have full and symmetric information, no transaction costs. There is a large number of producers and consumers who are competing in this particular environment. What is a monopoly? Monopoly is a market structure in which one seller or producer is the only supplier of a good or service in a market. Examples of perfect competition. Produce. Produce is a common example when looking at a farmer's market. It is a place with a large number of small sellers and buyers. There isn't a huge difference in quality, quantity, or price compared to other farmers markets. There is a few differences in how they are raised and how they are packaged. So if one of the farmers that is a supplier was closed down, it wouldn't have an effect on what the average prices are. Supermarkets. Supermarkets are similar to farmers markets when it comes to two supermarkets competing against one another. They stock their shelves with the same things from the same businesses, which again, there isn't much of a difference between products at both supermarkets, and the prices are almost the same. There is also a market of unbranded items, which is a cheaper version of well-known products. Knockoffs. Knockoffs are another example of products that are priced similar, and there is little difference between the knockoff and the actual product. If the firm manufacturing the knockoff goes out of business, it's replaced by another one. New development in the technology market sort of resembles perfect competition. When social media was first a thing, there were similar services on different sites. Some of the sites were 6degrees.com and blackplanet.com. They didn't have dominant market shares and were mostly free. Most startup shares in this market were minimal, so startups could enter and exit this market freely. Some of these markets were PHP and Java that were available to anyone. Examples of monopoly. Railways. Railways are provided by the government, which makes them a monopoly, because new partners or private companies can't buy or run railways. Luxottica. Luxottica owns all major brands of sunglasses. The sunglasses are named differently so that customers think they have a variety of sunglasses they can buy, when really they are all manufactured by the same company. They produce more than 80% of eyewear worldwide. Google. Google over the years has become a household name, and with so many advancements like Gmail, Google Maps, and others, it has left its competitors like Yahoo and Microsoft behind. Google controls more than 70% of market shares. Facebook. Facebook is a major social media platform that has a huge market share, putting it ahead of competitors like Google Plus and Twitter. Since users are using free services, the company uses ads to make a profit. It also bought WhatsApp and Instagram, making it a conglomerate of social media platforms called Meta. Patents. Patents provide a legal monopoly to companies. When the patent is in effect, no other company can use the company's invention. Pros and cons of perfect competition. Pros. It helps to provide a good framework for modeling market activity, and it shows that producers don't have to lower prices. Cons. A perfect competition doesn't always show how real-world market conditions are. Models aren't accounting for geographical differences or differences in products, and a model isn't accounting for how a producer will benefit from economies of scale. Pros and cons of monopoly. Pros. Economies of scale is important because in an industry with such high fixed costs, one single firm can gain lower long-run average costs with the use of economies of scale, which is really important when dealing with a natural monopoly. Firms that have the power of monopoly are more efficient and dynamic. Most firms gain their power by being better than their rivals. Cons. There are higher prices than there are in competitive markets, since monopolies have to face inelastic demand and can increase prices, which gives consumers no alternatives. A possible decline in consumer surplus, since consumers have to pay higher prices, fewer consumers can afford these high prices. This can lead to a locative inefficiency since price is greater than marginal cost. Similarities. There are a few similarities between a monopoly and perfect competition. Perfect competition and a monopoly maximize their profits, where the marginal revenue balances the marginal cost. They both have the goal of maximizing their profits. Differences. In a monopoly, there is one single seller or firm, whereas for perfect competition, there is a large number of sellers. A monopoly sells products with no close substitutes, but a perfect competition sells products that are alike. Under perfect competition, there is freedom to enter and exit firms in the industry, and in a monopoly, there is no freedom to enter or exit. A monopoly's demand curve is sloped downward to the right, and a perfect competition demand curve is completely elastic downward curve, which is a horizontal straight line.